Once Buddha was sitting with his followers and he was holding a handkerchief in his hand. While he was holding the handkerchief, all the followers were very surprised to see the handkerchief in his hand because they have never seen any hanky or handkerchief before that in the hand of Buddha. When they saw the handkerchief, they came to know, they understood that there will be something special today. Buddha while sitting on his place, he made 5 knots in the handkerchief at different places, at different spaces in the handkerchief. Now the available follower were thinking now what Buddha will say, what he will do. Now Buddha asked, can anyone tell, is this the same handkerchief which was before I made 5 knots? His very near and dear follower Shariputra answered. He said that the answer to the question is little hard. If we see from one point, this is not the same handkerchief because there is some difference has been made in this. Some changes have been made in this. But when we look from a different point of view, then it is a different because there was no knots before. Now there are 5 knots, so it is not the same. But the third thing is, if we talk about the main nature of this handkerchief, this is unchanged. Because it is the same handkerchief, only the outside look of it has changed. The components are the same, only the look has changed, so it is the same handkerchief. Buddha said, you are right, Shariputra. Now I open these knots. While saying this, Buddha held both the corner of the handkerchief and started pulling from both the corners and asked, what do you think, Shariputra? Can I open these knots while pulling like this? Shariputra said, no, Buddha. In this way, you will make these knots more stronger and stronger in a way that it will never open. Buddha said, you are right. Now you answer my last question. What should I do to open these knots? Shariputra said, Buddha, for this, first I will have to observe from very closely. I will have to have a very close look to the knots and I will have to observe and see how the knots have been made, because knots can be made in different way. First I need to see very closely how the knots have been made, and then I can tell how to open these knots. Buddha said, you are right, Shariputra. You are absolutely right. This is the main thing and most important thing and the most important question, that the problem you are living with or the problem you are standing on or the problem you want to get rid of, first you should know why you came in this problem. What is the reason for this problem? Why you fall in this problem? If you don't do the basic observations and don't check these basic things, then the problem will become stronger if you try to get rid of it, and if you try to come out of the problem which you are in, then it will become more and more stronger, just like the handkerchief. If you try to pull both the corner and try to open the knots. In the similar way, without knowing and understanding your problems, you can never come. But the whole world is doing like that. People ask me how to get rid of lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. They ask me always how to get rid of these five enemies, but they never ask how they fall in, how they came, and how they are standing on the lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. But if they observe this and if they understand that this that they how they 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 invite these five enemies, if they look closely, observe it, and understand this, then it will be very very easy to come out of it. But without understanding, if people try to come out of these five enemies, then they will only make this case worsen, and the thing will get worse and worse and worse. So, if anyone who wants to get rid of these five enemies, they should look closely on daily basis why and how they fall into the five enemies, which are lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. And then they will find the way themselves. They don't need help from anybody else. They can solve their own problem and come out of the problem.